I'll begin this as we do all things at St. Joe's. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. Mr. Scott, Brother Chris, teachers, alumni, family, and friends, here's graduating class of 2015. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's ceremonies. After 4 years that passed all too quickly, we stand before you, 190 strong, and we owe it all to your... To start off, Mr. Hellerer. He taught us that with heartfelt determination, courage, and a bit of insanity, we could prove ourselves to the village. Maybe someday we'll beat our international competitors in academics. Mr. Horner, you always reminded us to check our pulse to make sure that we were still alive, or at the very least, paying attention in class. Don't worry, still there. Mr. Rowland, you taught us how to think like a scientist, how to pray, and how to play meatball. Sure, science enthusiast coach and role model. To our families, for supporting and loving us every step of the way. To my friends, for making these the best 4 years of my life. And everyone else who has been with me along this unforgettable journey. I love you and can't thank you all enough for giving me the chance of a lifetime, becoming part of the broader family. You have transformed us all from boys to men, giving us a future of endless possibilities at our fingertips. But tonight isn't just about the future. Rather, it is time to reminisce on the past. For tonight, we walk across the stage as high school students for the last time. It's incredibly difficult to summarize one's entire high school experience in a few short minutes. We've all been through so much together, and I know I could talk for hours about it, but for your sake and mine, I'll keep this one short. I guess I'll start by acknowledging my first surprising inspiration to write this speech, Google. Bear with me, everything has to start somewhere, and in my case, this speech had its humble order to write a salutatorian speech in the Google search bar. So I hit enter, and right under the entry, how to write a salutatorian speech, there's an advertisement that says, ask a Mormon. Ask a Mormon. I don't even know anyone who is a Mormon, much less how one can help me speak in front of hundreds of people. Thanks, Google. I kept searching for a few tips and pointers, but with no luck. I was simply at a loss for words. So I tried again a few days later, typed in how to write a salutatorian speech once more, and sure enough, an ad popped up right underneath titled, Read the Book of Mormon. You know, I think something in me just gave up at that point, but at the same time, another part of me was actually really curious by now. So I started looking through a few passages from the Book of Mormon. And this is what I found. And men are, that they might have joy. The second book of Nephi, chapter 2, verse 25. There was a final message to take out of high school, right where I least expected it, in a book not even of my own religion. I think God has a sense of humor sometimes. So why does this quote mean so much to me? Perhaps because it perfectly defines our St. Joe's experience. Think of how many times we've fallen these past 4 years like Adam. All the late night homework breakdowns, loss after loss to teachers, failing 2 or 3 AP science tests every week, and the social anxieties we faced have certainly made high school a struggle at times. But what truly defines us is not the obstacles themselves, but our ability to overcome them. If we look back over the past 4 years, we will find all the good memories, all the simple triumphs we've experienced, and realize just how far we've come past our adversities. Just to name a few. Being there when Chad Kelly went for 2 against St. Francis and made it. Watching freshman singers slowly dissolve into story time with Mr. Dion and being totally okay with that. listening to Rick Astley in Mr. Williams' homeroom until it became our official theme song, acing that seemingly impossible chemistry test, playing soccer on the varsity team or in gym class, reeling in can after can, food basket, our life-changing experiences at Kairos, watching or performing in a school musical, dancing with mom and mom prom, sitting with our dads at the Father-Son Mass, seeing all of your St. Joe's brothers eagerly waiting for you in the black box to kick off every single year. Even sending Inglés No is one of my favorite memories. Yes, I may be feverishly muttering that phrase in my sleep for years to come, but when I do, I'll be reminded of all the good times we shared, and it will surely bring a smile to my face. It's truly amazing how nostalgia works sometimes. You know, if the purpose of life is to be happy, I'd say we've done a great job at fulfilling that. But the purpose of life is far more than just being happy. It's bringing happiness to others that gives us a true sense of fulfillment. Guys, we've been given a gift these past 4 years. It is the gift of a quality education, the gift of brotherhood. It's time for us to give it back. We are men of intelligence, men of integrity, men of faith. We are stronger than our adversities. We are stronger because of them. We are on a mission together to bring happiness to all the world. We are St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute's class of 2015, and we may be graduating tonight, but we're not done yet. Remember these 4 years for the rest of your life, guys. Share the spirit of St. Joe's with those around you, and congratulations on making it to today. Every last one of you is truly my brother for life, and there's no one else I would have rather shared this incredible journey with. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for accepting me as part of your family. Adam felt that man might be, and men are, that they might have joy. May all of our lives be filled with success and happiness. St. John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts. Thank you.
Commencement speaker is His Excellency, the Most Reverend Richard J. Malone, Bishop of Buffalo. Bishop Malone was born in Salem, Massachusetts on March 19, 1946, and was raised in Hamilton and Beverly, Massachusetts, from St. John's Preparatory School, Danvers, and began his seminary college years at Cardinal O'Connell Seminary in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. He graduated from St. John's Seminary, Boston, with a BA in philosophy, a bachelor's degree in divinity, and a master's degree in biblical studies. In 1981, Bishop Malone earned a doctorate in theology from Boston University and a licentiate in sacred theology at Weston Jesuit School of Theology, Cambridge, in 1990. Bishop Malone Holy Cross in Boston on May 20th, 1972, and was assigned to St. Patrick Parish, Stoneham, as associate pastor. In 1974, he began an academic career that took him to several schools where he taught and served as chaplain as well. In 1979, he was appointed to the faculty of his alma mater, St. John's Seminary College, where he taught religious and theological studies until 1990, also serving as registrar and academic dean during his tenure. In 1990, the bishop was assigned as chaplain to the Harvard-Radcliffe Catholic Student Center, Cambridge. He accepted the position of director of the Office of Religious Education for the Archdiocese of Boston in 1993. 2 years later, he was named Secretary of Education, the cabinet position which oversees all the educational activities of the Boston Archdiocese. In March of 2000, he was appointed Auxiliary Bishop of Boston's South Region. Bishop Malone produced and hosted television programs for Boston Catholic Television. He was the Archdiocesan liaison with the local Jewish community and lectures nationally on evangelization, catechesis, and Catholic education. Bishop Malone was installed as the 11th Bishop of Portland, Maine, March 31st, 2004. On May 29, 2012, Pope Benedict XVI named Bishop Malone the 14th Bishop of Buffalo, his installation taking place on August 10, 2012. Please join me in welcoming St. Joe's His Excellency, the Most Reverend Richard J. Malone, Bishop of Buffalo.
Thank you very much. It's a great joy to be with you. So much of my ministry, before I was a bishop, was involved in academic life, that I'm always very home at moments like this, and I'm delighted to have the invitation. And I know from experience that commencement talks need to be marked by brevity, and I promise you that. And that's why I take my watch off right now and put it in front of me. As I do that, I think of the story of the little fellow who used to go to 10 o'clock Mass every single Sunday with his dad. And every Sunday when the pastor got up to preach, before he opened his mouth, he would remove his watch and put it there in front of him so he could see it. And after seeing this happen dozens of times, the little boy's curiosity got the better of him. He said, "Daddy, what does it mean when Father takes his watch off like that and puts it in front of him before he preaches? What does that mean?" His dad looked down and said, "Son, it means absolutely nothing." But having spent a lot of time in classrooms watching clocks, I will stay with the time. I'm going to even front load my message instead of building up to it. And here it is. As you gentlemen go forth tonight from St. Joe's Collegiate Institute, please hold on to the most important things you've learned at St. Joe's. Those truths and virtues that will help you, above all else, to be a good person, which I know you are. Making the lives of people around you happier and making the world a bit better precisely because you are in it. In other words, living as godly men. Most of you are going on to college in a few months. That is a big deal, as the commercial says, and that it is. And when you get there, you may be asked fairly soon upon arrival on campus to take part in something called the American Freshman Survey. It's been conducted on college and university campuses since the 1960s. In 1967, the incoming freshmen across the country were asked what objectives they considered to be essential or very important in their lives as they began college. In response to that question, what is essential or very important, back in 1967, 86% of them answered that it was, quote, developing a meaningful philosophy of life, knowing how to live really. That was more than twice the number who answered that what was essential was, quote, being well off financially. Back in '67, wild and crazy days. I was a senior in college at the time. But listen, since that time, the answers to that same question have switched places. So that recently only a minority of those freshmen said that forming a meaningful philosophy of life was the most important value for them, while the large majority said that it was making lots of money. Quite a reversal of values. Quite a reversal. Without a meaningful philosophy, at least as far as I think about it, and theology, in fact, of life, and you know this, all the possessions, all the money, all the prestige, all the power we can pile up will never lead any of us to real joy and to lasting peace. I wish we could sit around, you and I, all of us, I know a few of you, I wish we could sit around and munch on pizza and discuss this for a while. You know where I'm going with the theme, though. So I could actually stop right here. You're probably thinking, why don't you? Just a couple more minutes and I will be done. Nothing is wrong, and Jesus really makes this point in the scriptures. Nothing is wrong with money or with wanting to be well off financially. The Lord wants us to be generous, but Jesus never condemns money. And I want that for every one of you. I want you to be financially stable and doing well. And St. Joe's has shaped you significantly for success in future studies and your career. And by the way, when you do well in the years ahead, don't forget your alma mater, and don't forget Catholic Charities. But your wonderful school, and I say that very sincerely from my several visits, has done something much more important than prepare you for career and financial success. Of course it's done that, and done it well. But St. Joe's has taught you not only how to be productive people, but also taught you, building on what your parents have done in your lives, to be good people. That's my simple theme tonight. To continue to be good people, men who make a difference for the better. And you can be both successful in your careers and good people. But sometimes that takes the walking along an ethical tightrope, making careful decisions along the way. St. Joe's, rooted in its rich Lassallean vision of teaching hearts, stimulating minds, and cultivating leadership, has offered you an experience of true community, Christian community, committed to excellence, all about honoring and developing your unique gifts, each of you, fostering intellectual growth and nurturing in you, each of you, an inclination, a tendency, best to say, a desire to want to reach out in service to others as leaders in the community around you, the civil, the religious, the global community. It has taught you to be leaders for good, transformative leaders like Jesus, like John Baptist de La Salle, like Pope Francis. Catholics today celebrate. Before he was taken up to his Father, Jesus said to his disciples, "Go into the whole world and proclaim the good news to every creature." Go into the world. And those disciples did just that. They lived and shared the gospel that is Jesus' message of good news, the reasons for hope and joy, the truth that God truly makes a difference, whatever the surveys may tell us, the promise of salvation for those who strive to be faithful, those who want to be good, and the challenge that you have heard at your time at St. Joe's, the challenge to do all we can to heal our wounded world with works of justice and mercy. As a wise person once said, true religion is keeping one's heart clean and one's hands dirty. Dirty in the sense of doing loving service for others, whatever it costs us. And that's our job. That's your job. Your wonderful school motto, Signum Fidei, sign of faith. When you do those things that are good, you become a convincing, a powerful sign of faith to the world. In conclusion, those of you who have received the sacrament of confirmation have been given already divine strength to allow you to live meaningful, godly, good lives if you decide to do that. So let me end these simple thoughts by offering for all of you gentlemen, whatever might be your faith tradition, a prayer